So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And instead of Mr. Fascinate, he's gonna be hopping in for the second game. Instead, it's Mr. Billy actually going for our first match today. So yes, Billy, how you doing on this fine night?
Great. We got into a little bit of technical difficulties with scheduling and stuff, but I am here. I am here for now. I am going to be try to be budget passionate.
They're not budget fascinate. You're Mr. Billy. It's a little different. So honestly, I didn't want Mr. Billy for our second game today because of the people involved in the matchup. But it's okay. We're gonna be swapping those schedules in the co-cast, and we are gonna be good to go for washed up homies versus cakes. Now both teams are ready to go, and we can finally reveal our upcoming rosters for this match. And here we go. It's gonna be Ambilone, Freak, K, Ultima Mako, and Sun for the side of washed up homies, and on the other side for cakes, it's Roxy, Londa, Stereo, Blackbeard, Shiver, Red Rose, and X Fatalist. Our only banned for the match gonna be Cyanide for Washed Up Homies, Blue gonna be on the bench as well. In the meantime, for Cakes, enabling both Oily Beer and Alex Seed if they need so into this matchup. So what do you think with this starting six for both sides, Mr. Billy? What's something to note coming into this game?
Well, for washed up homies, one thing to note is we're seeing both Ambi and Lone in the same gonna be playing at the same time, and for washed up homies, we've always been seeing either both Ambi and Lone being that main tank, and coming into this match, I think Lone will probably be in his off tank role, and probably him. I can say this that I think he'll probably be playing his signature Roadhog, like maybe the
Ooh.
majority of this match, and the K with probably gonna play Farah. Hopefully this time with a Mercy, because we've been seeing a lot of solo Farahs whenever Washed Up Homies play with K, because Son and Mako don't really play Mercy that much. While on Kicks, on the other hand, you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out for Blackbeard and his Widowmaker, and
Yeah.
Shiver with his Mockery.
Yeah, you have the standard cakes lineup ready to go. And again, they are going to go for Red Rose and Stereo different configuration. Something they built on from their initial scrim against Team Meme Cord. So it's really, really interesting to see how these two teams have evolved. And yes, Ambi and Lone going to be together in the tank line. Now, usually it's Lone actually the ban for washed up ponies, but it's a different ordeal here and now as they will have their usual main tank looking to play that off tank instead. Or it might be Ambi actually going on to the off tank. We haven't really found out yet what the plan is. It's gonna be really, really interesting. Good point there from Mr. Billy. If Lom brings out that Roadhog, it might just be such an utter domination as a triple DPS composition technically for the side of washed up homies. And speaking of Ambient Loan, speaking of that tank line, we got the stats from Mr. Rebirth, Mr. Billy, and well, look at that big number on Lone side. 8.1 K average damage per 10 minutes, above and beyond all of his peers right now in this matchup with almost 20 average eliminations. On the other side, though, Ambi really good at securing those kills with 20.91 average eliminations, and average damage is 6,848 for every 10 minutes. So for Stallone, he does not have 15,000 most elims, guys. A little bit of a typo there, but it's okay. Moving over to the other side for Cakes, it's again more stable. It's more on the defensive end. Both Roxy Londa and Stereo with around the average of 5,000 in terms of that damage and an average of 13 to 14 in terms of that elimination. Really, really similar impact by the tank line. They are very, very on points with playing the protection, and they do like playing together. That's why they split pretty much the same kind of stats between one another. So what do you think, Mr. Billy? Who has the edge here in the tank line?
Well, I think considering Lone stats, I think it's safe to say that he is the most aggressive tank out of everyone in the in this match, or even in the new invitationals, because every time we go into his point of view, he's already in the back line or in front of everyone, just swinging at his hammer.
He's
So
murdering someone.
yeah, I think what Cakes want to do is punish that aggression, and hopefully, when he charges in or he walks up to try and swing all by himself, they can just focus him down and potentially win the fight.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I really feel like for Cakes, if they do play their defensive nature, it might really bring them a medium of success that will lead to a potential victory. Now, again, though, let's look back at the standings. And, well. Second seed versus fifth, if I remember correctly. 4-1 for Washed Up Homies. 1-2 for Cakes as they are trying to catch up with the rest of the New Wave Invitationals as there's those matches played. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how this matchup is going to unfold. Will the ban be enough for Cakes to actually take the match against Washed Up Homies, or is Washed Up Homies just way too good and really trying to chase after Waminagi, even though their only loss so far has been against them? Very, very interesting dynamic. Very, very interesting to see what's going to be unfolding. And well, predictions, Mr. Billy. What do you think is going to be happening for this game? Hey, Mr. Billy, what do you think?
Yes.
What's
Oh, sorry.
what's the prediction? Yo, what's happening?
Sorry. I was my parents talked to me. So I think I predict, hopefully, I think most probably Watch the Points might take map one because, Control is actually one of the best maps to have a very aggressive team. But when it comes to like maybe the payload maps or the especially the 2CP, I think Cakes should be able to hold their ground against them.
And speaking of map number one, we already have it, and it will be the map of
Oh
Ilios.
my
I like
God.
this pick. I like this pick a lot because this is gonna go so well for Washed
Can I
Up
make a prediction?
Homies. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
If Well comes up, Lone's gonna play Hog.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be a hog that will just look for as many kills as possible. And seems like we are gonna be going into our first game, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since we've been back with the new Invitationals of inclement weather making us cancel our last day last week. So hey, gonna be getting into a match here and now. One of our matches here today, a first of two for this first day of week number 7. And let's get it on, let's get it done, Mr. Billy. Let's move into the game, and well, it's not gonna be well, it's Ruins to start things off.
Yeah, and this is also actually one point to add. This is the out of all 3 maps, this is the worst map to play Hog. In this map, usually you'd see a dive comp or maybe a Zarya Reinhardt comp, but Hog Orisa or Hog in general is never really used in this map.
Yeah. And interesting enough here for Watch the Homies, so we were trying to make predictions on who was gonna take what role, and it seems like the roles right here right now, it's Lone on the main tank and it's Abby flexing on over to the off tank instead, which will be really interesting because I would have expected Lone to be the one to play the off tank in a scenario where they have a reliable Reinhardt anyway, so that will allow Lone to play that role dog, to play that Zarya that he knows how to play really well. But I guess because I don't see him too much on the Diva, I think that's something that they don't want to play into. But for another reason, again, it is going to be a ground-based composition on the supports, and K is on the Pharah flying on around. So Blackbeard on the Widowmaker here on Ruins, pretty much the stomping grounds potentially for the Spider. A good call here for Cakes to run that Widow at the very start.
Yes, and one thing. It's gonna be more about the Widow matchup, but considering that Cakes are playing dive, Freak may have the disadvantage against Blackbeard.
Blackbeard is actually using the space given to get the headshot onto Freak. Took down K earlier on, and Team Cakes exploiting the matchup already. Here comes Londo going for the charge. Big swaps immediately for Watch the Homies. They go for the Tracer and for the Reaper, but since they have the Ryan and Zarya on points, that will allow them to get that initial capture. So starting things off strong here for Watch the Homies, forcing the side of Team Cakes back, but Blackbeard right now looking for these sight lines, looking for these dings, and every shot will count to get enough damage on the other side.
Yeah, that's the thing. Cause if you look at the Washed Up's comp, no one on their team can punish the Widow except maybe the Lucio, but he has to commit so much just to get to her, or the Reaper with the teleport, but she could also get potentially headshotted by her. So Blackbeard should have 3 shots.
Oh, you know what's also pretty gonna be that Shatter connecting odds 3. Here comes Lone right now again. This Reinhardt is just so potent in every single way, and it's just basically seeing, hey, it's a Winston in front of me. It's gonna be a lot harder to counter that Shatter, and if they're gonna be playing a formation that enables a good stun, and that is just gonna be enough for Mr. Lone. Stereo though on the board, Baby Diva actually get one stun in the meantime with the coalescence to secure start this fight. And well, I've been looking at the stream, guys, so we are all good to go on the green. So hopefully your internets are able to handle everything that's going on. Team Cake still swapping over to the Ryan Zarya, and we just hope you guys enjoy our session here. Watch the Pomies versus Cakes. Gonna be a very, very interesting bout. I'd love to see how this one is gonna unfold, but for now, Watch the Pomies is running away with it.
Yeah, but I think now this is what Lone exactly wants. He wants to have this Ryan v Ryan matchup because, you know, he knows that he has the advantage when it comes to swinging. Like, he has the aggressive mentality compared to Roxy. So I think he's gonna exploit that.
And look at that, Freak is just able to exploit the mobility of the Tracer. Watch the Pomies has immediately found out and figured out their initial problem after a few weeks in the New Wave Invitationals, and that has been the DPS line. Adding in Freak is just such a stable position.
He's a freak of nature.
He is a freak of nature, especially with Cyanide. And K, in the meantime, a very, not even a serviceable, honestly, shows up on to the sub DPS role. Now, it is really, really interesting how Watch the Pomies has figured things out with some really good roster additions. But for now, Team Cake's gonna get grabbed on over. Shivido gonna get one. Here comes the Death Blossom. Will get shut down by the McCree. Nanopus is late into as well. And the Deadeye will connect on the Sun. Sam Barrett, too late for Ultima Mako. Trying to stall for time. Here comes Freak yet again. Popping the recall right here, right now. But has to hop on the way. Ultima Mako with a sound wave. Cleans up X-Fatalist. Action onto the point yet again. Shiver gonna get on the board. Wow, Ultima Mako with a bunch of kills on the Lucio. And he's stalling for time as much as possible. But unfortunately, Reddit Lucio, but it's still not going to be enough. It was so close though. Impressive tail end there for our Lucio player.
Yeah, and that was great play by the Reinhardt. Like, in that grab, he made sure that he kept the shield up to protect his team from K's Death Blossom there. Which, you know, once there's a shield in front of a Death Blossom, there's not really much you can do.
Yeah, and sorry about the overlay, guys. It seems like I used the other overlay for our other match, but hey, it is what it is, and the logo is fine. So there you go. It's Kicks right now onto the chat. There we go with the shatter. We'll take the connect and watch the Pomies trying to play into this one. Rocks in London though, good hold so far, and Team Cakes really on point with just close quarter engagement. Seems like this McCree pick really working out well for them, especially against the Reaper and the Tracer ability.
Yeah, because the Reapers provide staying with the team, making sure that his Reinhardt and Zarya don't get, what do you call this, bombarded by the Reaper shotguns with the Tracer Pulse pistols. But the problem is, Blackbeard's free every single time during that fight, so he can get those. He got that free initial pick because no one can really stop him. So now we see that Ambi's playing Winston just to try and fight him.
Yeah, so this is an interesting Ryan Winston pick that Watch the Pomies can place. Is there two main tanks? They can actually look to do something like this, but I love to see them play something a little more meta. As Lone and K right now on the board, it's a Busio though, Red Rose. Something about Red Rose actually, which we can talk later, is his stats on that support, and he's pretty potent as a Reddit Lucio alongside someone like Patty. But unfortunately right now with Lone and Sun on the board, Watch the Pomies with surprise factor. It's Ambi on the Roadhog instead, swapping over after the suicide dive from the Winston, and apparently that small little swap changing things over. Shatter right now in behind. There was one problem though. He has to stay onto the point. It's a massacre on the rocks in London. She's not gonna be able to survive that one. Shiver game bounced around yet again, and here comes trouble. Mako Lone on the board one more time. Mako has been so on fire at just bouncing around with this Lucio, and he has been such a force to be reckoned with. Rocks in London now swapping over to that ball itself. Here comes the sandbars on both sides. Shield sustained is absolutely key, and the Biotic Orb bouncing on around. Now here comes the Pile Driver trying to get the catch on. Doesn't really get too much there. Pulse from now will connect. Ambido will still step aside and be happy to tag that one. K right now, Death Blossom in hand, gonna blow up Rocks in London, and this is overtime ticking on down. Close with no cigar. Watch the Homies gets the point back, and they will take the first round in this first map.
The big turnaround there was that I think Blackbeard was surprised about the Widow pick. I'm not sure if he noticed that Freak swapped back to the Widow, but then you got that free hedge, and then with Ambi jumping into the backline, Lone just got that free charge and pinned Roxy, and pretty much cleaned up after.
In all honesty, I would love to see Watch the Homies actually look to play something onto their double main tank thing. Since they have two main tank players, I'd love to see them whip out the Ryan Orisa actually, instead of something like the Ryan Winston. But hey, if it's comfortable for Ambi, he's able to make it work. And right now, for Watch the Homies, they do put Lone on the Diva instead of that Winston. Now, as I said before, honestly for Mr. Lone, his better off tanks are the Roadhog #1 and the Zarya #2. He has an okay Diva, but I feel like for Watch the Homies, they do like Abby better on the Winston, and I've seen them have more success on the dive when he is on this hero because of the playstyle of Mr. Lone. He's a little too aggressive, right? Like there is a point where you can be aggressive, especially as we've seen from his Reinhardt, but the Winston is a little bit different, and if Ambi is really comfortable at it, he's able to play the zone game strong. But unfortunately, Fire Grenade will shut him down, but that was such a good game still for Team Washed Up Homies. The Kicks right now trying to hold the line, and they're playing the Orisa Diva, a very, very protective lineup, but unfortunately for them, there is no real target for the Diva to DM, and that is going to be not enough staying power. Washed Up Homies with the proper execution into the front line.
Yeah, I don't think that Orisa Diva is the best. I think this actually is one of the worst tank combinations there is, because what Diva wants to do is protect her main tank who likes to swing or jump in, because that's her job, is to keep her main tank alive. But Orisa really doesn't need that because she has both Fortify and that shield.
It really is. Well, when you play the Diva though, I think for Team Cakes, they're anticipating an upcoming Pharah pick, and that wouldn't be surprising whatsoever, especially with how K plays things out. But Freak right now with the blade gets one. Red Rose and Blackbeard on the board in return, and well, for Team Cakes, they're putting up a really, really good fight here against Washed Up Homies. The only time will tell if they can actually get a round or a map away from them. Goodbye to Red Rose. No, it's gonna be able to get the wall right just in time. Pretty close to get the grind on, and Ambi in the meantime, a sliver of HP able to disengage yet again. Here comes the pressure, though. Stereo really going for the chase down. Eventually leads to the takedown. And Blackbeard on the board one more time. Team Cakes, though, still alive for this one. The Tracer being as pesky as possible. K is just looking for as many bullets right here, right now. Lone right now trying to stay alive. And Blackbeard and Stereo. Another flurry of kills. Team Cakes gets the point on back. And seems like the timer is ticking. And Stereo will be happy to commit suicide to get the reset on.
I think that though that Cakes needed to finish that fight early because they got so much point percentage of that one fight.
It's a little
but
difficult,
you know,
though.
yeah, but Stereo good though with that punish on the Winston. He's after that punishment on the Winston. That's his main role, and he already has bomb.
And hey, ooh, Blackbeard getting a full spam back. Here comes Self-Destruct though. Goodbye to Mako out in the middle. And it seems like it is going to be Team Cakes giving up the point momentarily to just get the momentum to go for the bomb play. Now, I do want to commend how Washed Up Homies executes on their dive. It seems like the Winston and the Diva are pretty on point. And I do like how Ambi is a little more restrained in his Winston jumps. He lands in front, not in the middle of everything. He gets tased on and he can go for the shield dance, which allows him to stay alive a little longer than he should, which is something to note. But Cakes just playing it really, really smart for the Orisa. They anchor alongside the main tank, and it's just really good execution here for the side of Team Cakes. Anyway though, Mako right now, Sam Barrier is in hand. He has been very aggressive on the Lucio. Low-key, getting some damage there, and then Self-Destruct in behind. Does it actually need the kills? Yes, it does! Lone with a proper bomb, getting rid of the support line. And this fight is gonna be over before it even begins. Now Freak is happy that the main tanks are still alive. It is easy ult charge there, and then for the Genji. Pulse bomb though will connect, cleans up Mako, but it's a shuriken to chase down. And Team Cakes gonna have one last chance to try and get around in this map.
By landed directly on top of X-Fatal is there. I don't think he expected the bomb to go that far. But yeah, Ambi and Lone's tank combination is very good. They synergize well. Like whenever Ambi would jump in, so would Lone.
It's really commendable how on point they are, and right now it's a Dragon Blade making the space. It is enough to force the C9, and Washed Up Homies will take the 2-0 here on map number 1.
Yeah, that's a great push there by Washed Up Homies taking the initiative, because knowing, you know, with their comp being dive, they dove them before they even got to touch point, which did not allow Roxy to get into a proper position she wanted to set up.
Hey, there you go, look at that. Shiver with the play of the game, though. That McCree pick out of nowhere really being such a surprise factor on Ruins, but unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to go all the way. And, well, it is a 2-0 victory here for Washed Up Homies. They did try a good deal there, and it was very, very commendable, but unfortunately, it just wasn't enough in the long run. And it seems like we are going to be going into our next map, Mr. Billy, and that will be a hybrid map. So, you know, stick around until the halftime if you got to do something, Mr. Billy, because I think this action is going to continue all the way through.
Yeah, I think so too. I think like maybe now Cakes will maybe try and get their team comp stabilized, and hopefully try to turn things around.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. And well, Ilios, it seems like for Watch the Homies, we were a little surprised that they played the dive, honestly, on well, but it seems like they have a plan of action and they were able to execute to a good degree. So, what do you think? What do you think about this Ambi lone pairing? Because I think it's pretty on point, Mr. Billy.
Yeah, because I think what Ambi's doing is he's supporting the aggressiveness of Lone, and because of that, Ambi is just able to make sure keep Lone alive, because since Lone is very aggressive, especially when he plays that Reinhardt, he plays a Zarya style wherein he wants to keep his Reinhardt alive because he knows that Lone is pretty much doing so much of the damage towards their opposing tanks compared to the DPS, because the DPS have to worry about their Shiver and Blackbeard.
Indeed, indeed. And, Blackbeard and Shiver, they're pretty scary, honestly. They are able to really bring things back for their team. And it's a really, really interesting dynamic. But there's something also to note for Watch the Homies, Mr. Billy. In that support line, it's a little different looking for both sides, honestly. It's a little different looking for Cakes. We already got a preview of it last week, if I remember correctly. But here for Watch the Homies, there's someone on a new role, and that someone is Mr. Sun. So let's look at those stats given by Mr. Rebirth. And well, Mr. Sun, no data, of course, on average healing, but he did a really good job on the off tank for Team Watch the Homies with around 7k average damage with almost 22 average eliminations there, over 22 average eliminations. In the meantime, for Mako, it's around 7.3 on the average healing and 3.4 on the average damage. We've seen here, seems on that Lucio, he's able to get a little bit more out of his hero, find those frags, just be as pesky as possible. On the other side, Red Rose had a similar kind of deal. He was on that off tank, and he moved over to support last week, and he is a very aggressive Lucio, as we have seen before. 4.1k average damage with 4.1k average healing. He loves to play the speedster to really provide the speed utility for Team Cakes. In the meantime, X-Fatalist, we have seen him be the God-made Grenadier all the way through the weeks of the New Wave Invitationals, and his 7.861 average healing with around 2.63 average damage, really showing on off and making sure that that is the stat to notice. So yeah, the support lines having some interesting changes. And what do you think so far? What have we seen from that first game?
I think especially in that second point when X-Fatalist played as Ana, he got so many good nades. I think that, but the problem was his team did not really follow up on it. Like he got a nade on both Ambi and Lone, as well as like maybe one of the DPS. But when once Winston jumps in and you nade him, he should pretty much die every single time because Orisa can just pull him back, and then they have the McCree flashbang. They have the enough tools to burst him down. But I think it's because I think the lack of target prioritization wherein Lone just Ambi's just able to stay alive as Winston even though he's naded.
Yeah, well, it really is. I have to commend how Ambi's been playing Winston, and it makes a lot of sense why they swap roles technically in the Friends of the comp. So honestly, I think for Watch the Families, first they have to figure things out on what really is the stability there, and second, well, they have shown they have a lot of flexibility in terms of their tank hero pool, and maybe this new support configuration gonna be something that they can bring along for a ride. So yeah, Sun basically replacing Plu right now in terms of that support line, and it has worked out for them with the Lucia Moira. So yeah, just gonna be pretty interesting to see how this one is gonna unfold. In the meantime, for Cakes, they are comfy with Red Rose playing that support instead, and if they do need so, they can just swap those two players back between Red Rose as well as Stereo. But hey, map number 2 going to be confirmed, and it is going to be Hollywood. So what do you think, Mr. Billy? What's up with Hollywood?
Hollywood is actually for me a very good hit scan oriented map, or when it comes, especially if it comes to like the second point, if the hit scan can get up to the high ground, they have pretty much free reign on the whole point of the whole area because they can just cross the bridge if they need to get to the other side. And the first point also very good Farah map for Kay if she wants to play that her signature Farah. And then, but I think Freak might have to play a flanker type or McCree because Widow's not very good for a first point, especially on attack. Hello, Dax? Are you there? Hello? Daks? Hello? Oh, okay.
Billy, and yeah, we are gonna be moving into our second map, ladies and gentlemen. Just had to attend something real quick, and
Okay.
well, this is the new Invitational. So your game, Mr. Billy. Did I leave you for too long? I'm like, oh, don't worry,
No,
Billy,
I
I
was
got
like
you.
wondering. I thought my internet disconnected again. I was like, is it 3 a.m. already?
No, no, it's not yet. It's not yet. It's not your bedtime yet, Mr. Billy. And
Oh yeah,
my
wait.
house. Well, what's up?
I have one more thing to add too. I think it's because what Ambi and Lone are in the game that they'll never know what comp they're gonna play because they can play both Reinhardt, Zarya, and Winston Diva very well, and they'll never know who's gonna play the main tank.
Yeah, honestly, it's gonna be such a big surprise factor. It's gonna be interesting to see how this one is gonna be unfolding, but we are gonna get into map number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Seems like though Cakes is gonna be on the defense first as Watch the always picks up the attack to initiate. Now let's get it on, let's get it done, let's get into where the stars do shine. Truly, it is gonna be Hollywood to start things off yet again.
I want to see a Bastion.
You wanna see a Bastion? Did we see a Bastion on this map before?
No, we saw a Torb on this map before.
Was it a Thorn? Was it?
Yeah, it was a Torb. I think it was.
The,
I no, yeah, no, it was a Symmetra Bastion comp. I forgot which team played it, but they played it, and the Bastion held on defense on the blue van. You see the blue van
yeah,
in front
in
of the
front,
one?
all the way in front of the
Yeah.
archway. It's
Ah,
like,
wait, it was Meme Cord. Meme
was
Cord was
against Meme
attacking.
Cord.
Yeah, it was against Meme Cord because I remember during the pause, Walk was in front of everyone waiting to die.
Was it? Wasn't it Cakes who did that?
Oh,
Can't
Cakes versus
remember.
Meme Cord? Maybe
I
Cakes
can't
versus
remember.
Meme Cord.
It's a blur sometimes.
Oh, a Torb!
Maybe it was them. Maybe it was them. Maybe it was them. Okay. So yeah, Team Cakes on this defense, picking up Hollywood. Seems like they're comfy, and they're gonna play the Torbjorn. This is very old school though. This is a very old school position to put
Even
it
the
on top
placement of the turret.
yeah, to put up on the
Old school.
elevator. This is season 1, season 2, season 3. The only thing left is you put Symmetrators behind those
Even
ferns
Hog.
and you're good to go. So Ryan Roadhog, the comfort comp of choice for the PH community. It's very pub oriented. It really is just Reinhardt is a comfy pick,
pure
Roadhog is a
damage.
comfy pick, and you have a lot of damage along the way. Blackbeard though playing that crit, and it's the Zen on as well. So it seems like for Team Cakes, they are looking for fatalities as quick as can be, and the Discord are going to be absolutely huge. But Sun in the meantime actually playing that Mercy here for Watch the Homies, something you were commenting on earlier on. Execution though for Watch the Homies, immediately going into the fights, and Ambi again getting out of dodge at the right time. Good initiation there from Winston and the Diva, and well, it's Roxy as well as Stereo trying to hold the line, but it's just not happening. Cakes with just no one left onto the point because of Freak, because of Ambi, and what's a push there from the attacking side. Washed up homies right here, right now, going for as much as they can.
Cakes could not handle the amount of damage that Watch the Homies was pumping out because they have both the damage boost and the damage boost. Wait, did they have a Zenyatta?
Yeah, they have a
Or was
Zen.
it?
They have a Zen on Cakes. They really at the attacking side from Washed Up Homies, they have the Mercy. So there is a damage potential on both angles, but Blackbeard right now taking the angle as long as possible, and will shut down the Pharah as quick as can be. So double hit scan right now for Cakes, and I like these picks because the McCree can deal with the Genji, and the Waymaker can deal with the Pharah as much as possible, especially on the Westworld map. Shiver right now with the shutdown yet again. They only have Red Rose though for the heals, but Sun is in a bad spot, and Ambi will go for the save onto the Angel of Grace yet again. Watch the Homies though going for the push already, trying to get to the T-Junction. Freak in the meantime going on board, and the Dragon Blade is available here for Watch the Homies. It is going to be enough for them to get the push in time, and it is a self-destruct from Load to get the remake as quick as can be.
Yeah, and, I think now the Watch the Homies win con is obviously that Nano Blade. And the thing is, if they get rid of Red Rose right now, oh, it should be a free Nano Blade.
Yeah, here we go. Nano Blade gonna be able to play Freak.
I mean,
Is
what?
happy to roam around. Doesn't really get the target, so
I'm just Nano boosted.
yeah, and Abby the one rather Nano boosted. Sorry about that. I thought the skin got me. Okay, so it was the Nano Winston coming into play. It was just Naked Blade onto the side. A good catch there, Mr. Billy. But honestly, if you watch the homies, it was more of a show of force rather than being as lethal with the blade because there's no one really there to cut down, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was surprised too. So I think maybe the Ambi got in the way of the Nano Blade.
Maybe. I was
As
expecting
Freak
to.
dashed in, I think Ambi was in front of Freak when he dashed. But you know, they still won the fight.
Yeah, I was kind of confused. I was like, huh, was it the Genji? Yeah, it's like, okay, whatever. He goes for the blade anyway on the right side, and he just looks at the tanks menacingly. It's like when you're a small little dog, and you have a mean look, and you bark and make noise, and then I throw you out of the room because I'm broadcasting. True story, guys, true stories. But hey, it's K gonna be playing Danger Close. The only place that the Reaper can cut down that far has to be somewhere like this on Hollywood. Here comes an Ana boost. This time it's on the main tank of Rox and Londa, and Team Cakes gonna be using the front line to try and stem the tide, but the tide will turn very soon. It looks like it is gonna be high tide coming our way very, very soon. Ruination might be upon Team Cakes as K has his rocket barrage in hand.
Yeah, but Shiver is making sure that the Pharah doesn't want to go wherever she wants to, because he keeps Shiver keeps going high ground to punish K.
Yeah, that's true, and that Reaper in Danger Close really making an impact. The Reaper having a lot of sustain as well with that lifesteal, so it does make a difference. But here we go right now with the Nano Blade. This time I'm making sure that it is actually going to happen. But the transit response, Red Rose with a proper shutdown, and Stereo with a whole lag as well to take care of Bambi. He can get out of dodge from that one if he uses the jump to initiate. It's a 2-for-2 trade. It really is looking dicey. But for Watch the Homies, there's something they've been exploiting. Is the fact of the matter is Stereo is on that Roadhog, and he's just basically an old battery here for the Genji as much as possible.
Yeah, but I think too that having that Genji means though Rox needs to land her chatters better, because we've seen 2 consecutive Earth Chatters which was not really followed up upon.
Hey, no, Blade gonna be the normal follow-up for Watch the Homies. And finally, the Rock Barrage gonna come, and it's time for the utter decimation of that front line. And the payload being pushed. Here comes Red Rose right now touching. The Zenyatta doesn't have the chance to be able to survive. That Blossom might be the saving grace here. Shiver being bounced around. And here comes the spin. It's just not gonna be enough, and that is enough for Washed Up Homies to finish things off very, very close. 4 Cakes to try and mount a comeback on that last point, but unfortunately, Watch Up Homies just having enough firepower, and that is enough for them to take a full cap into this one.
Yeah, I think like I was saying a while ago, I think Rox needs to do a little bit better with that Earth Shatter, because like when they were in those last 2 fights, Roxy pretty much threw their Earth Shatter out without the team being there or the team being able to follow up upon it, which really kind of wasted its value, because all it pretty much did was, you know, get them stunned on the ground and stay there for like 2 seconds, but none of them really died after that Earth Shatter. I think Roxy needs to wait for his team to be in a better position before Earth Shattering.
I just want to commend though for Team Watched Up Homies. Again, the execution has been on point on that tank line. Not gonna lie, Abby alone, good pairing, good pairing. I can see them make lots of waves here in the new wave with the flexibility, with just a huge hero pool that these two have together. They pretty much play every tank, I feel. Maybe except the Sigma, we haven't really seen too much Sigma from either of them, but beyond that, then you know, if the double barrier is the only thing that they can't really play, it doesn't really matter too much in a free pool system. But Cakes right now will be played on Widowmaker. It is Blackbeard roaming on around onto the right side, and he's gonna be taking the high ground on the hotel.
Yeah, and this is gonna be hard for Blackbeard because he needs to get into position. It's hard to get for a Widow to get in position because the choke's pretty big. There's only 2 areas wherein a Widow can actually take shots from, and it's that small CCTV room and the high ground.
But it really is sometimes just free space for Blackbeard to go for as many shots as possible. Zarya though trying to still stay alone. Watch Up Homies in the meantime holding his steadfast with the Ryan Zarya in front, and it is K just fragging out. 2 kills on the board immediately here from Watched Up Homies, looking for as many targets as possible. Shiver in the meantime backing on out. They're gonna be there, and Blackbeard swapping over to the Echo. So this is our first Echo pick into this series. And do you think it's gonna get any value in a matchup like this?
I think so, because you know, whenever you play an Echo, having a Reinhardt on the opposing team is actually, you know, because everyone knows Reinhardt is pretty much the best target for Echo to duplicate, because you can get pretty much 2 or 3 Earth Shatters in 1 duplicate. And yeah.
But hey, you know, they got the Genji, they got the Echo, and ultimates are gonna be a very, very big deal for the attacking side of Team Cake. So now, more or less, their power spike really is as soon as those check marks do come, especially for Shiver on that Genji. But for the time being, with the Hanzo and the McCree, Washed Up Homies are the powerhouse themselves. Ultramako Ambi on the board. Rox and Londa in the meantime will not survive against Ambi. Whoa, the 100 entry to boot here from Washed Up Homies. They will go for the push. They will go for the aggression. And they are looking to try and get this full hold. Halfway into the time back, they are just on point right now.
Problem is, like, Cakes is playing dive, but they're not actually diving. They're just, you know, look, they're staying in front of point. They take the high ground, but that's all they do. They don't jump in after. They don't jump down from the high ground. They just stay up there. And every time, before even the team fight starts, Stereo loses his mech.
Yeah, they're playing a dive, but it doesn't really matter. They're not able to utilize it to the full degree. And maybe they're gonna do it with the Nano Blade, though. Into play, here comes the Graviton Surge, here comes Shot as well for the zone, here comes the Dragon Strike, and Washed Up Homies throwing everything they have against that Nano Blade, and it works out in their favor to a degree.
Shiver saves his blade, though.
Yeah, he Shiver saves his blade, and that was... Okay, guys. Has everyone seen that small montage where the Genji blades and everyone turns around to hold him? That was that. That was that. Watch the Homies threw everything they had and more. The only thing they have right now is the Deadeye. But honestly, every single ultimate that they can counter that Genji, they threw it.
Cake is happy with that.
Yeah, they should be happy with that. Because here comes the Trance and the Blade instead. Team Cakes can go for the push. Blackbird gonna get on the board, and well, Lone right now with a charge instead. Watch Up Homies relocating where the Reinhardt has moved over, but in the meantime, Team Cakes with the ult advantage, with just that blade, enabling them to get the push on. That was overkill and a half there from Watch Up Homies, and they might be regretting how they dealt with the Genji blade. They all had the same idea, they all had the proper response, but together as a whole, that is not the right way to go about things.
And if you're in Cake's position, you're like, okay, that's good. Thank you, Shiver, for saving your blade. Because now we can just go in with Blade Trance, which pretty much just won them that fight easily.
And you know, Watch the Moments is that team who they have that synergy to ult all at the same time. So you know.
Hey guys, I have Q. I shall press it.
Yes, I shall press it. I want to press it too. And Kay was like, I'm gonna try to press it, but there's no one there, so I guess I can't anymore. But hey, Cakes will be able to get a little momentum in their favor. The duplicate gonna be really useful at getting things done along the way. Freak in the meantime, zipping on around on the Tracer yet again. They're gonna take a chunk of the damage one more time. That the grab is available here, and now Watch the Homies gonna be holding into the forefront by the Saloon. And it is high noon somewhere in the world, and the high noon right now is ready for Kate to get into the action. But load going down, that is a problem sometimes. Oh, we get a pause. Who? DC? Someone DC? We'll see if that's gonna be any issues right here, right now. So hopefully everything is a-okay. But seems like for Team Cakes, that successful engagement now, moving into the second point, is really helping them out to get so much momentum.
And in this fight, Roxy got into the backline and preoccupied the Zarya, allowing the rest of his team to pretty much focus the Reinhardt and insta-kill, because the Zarya could not bubble his Reinhardt because he was very much focused on protecting his supports.
And anyway, we are back into the action, and
No disconnect.
Kicks. It was a hiccup disconnect. The hiccup disconnect where the game thinks you're disconnected and
Oh yeah, that
the
happens a
desync.
lot.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Packet loss and the like, but for Freak, he
PH
might have the
internet in a
opportunity.
nutshell.
Yes, sir. And oh. Okay, that's a little bit miscount there for Watch the
Should have
Homies.
been an
Seems
trance.
No. Come on. You know, let's not throw here, guys. Let's not throw the nano trans into something like this. You know, please, can we not? Can we not? I'm already triggered.
You would have gotten the point faster.
No, that's not true. That's not true. You can't trick me. Okay, you know, the last like on Saturday I was streaming some StarCraft with a pro player co-casting, and he was trying to debate me. He said that building is a StarCraft, if you don't cancel the thing that's queued up, you don't get the money back. I'm like, no, what the hell are you talking about? You're masters. And they come back, and I had to prove it. On stream. I was like, I made a custom game. But here we go with the Shatter and the Graviton. Here comes a self in behind. There's absolute chaos right now. And Stereo will get two with that big bomb in behind. Blackbeard, those spinning around with the Death Blossom. Who needs to aim when you can just go for a ballet recital? Team Cakes with two ultimates to get 2 kills apiece. And it is now clear sight lines to try and get to the end of the map.
To highlight that Red Rose kept Roxy alive after, Roxy ate 3 ultimates. He took a pulse bomb, he took a shatter, he took a grab, and he's still alive.
And you know what still is going to be a live Shiver right now. Chanting that Deadeye, Nana boosted up, cleans up Kate along the way. Lone in the meantime though with a Fire Strike on the other side. It's 2 for 2 though. Lone is the DPS, guys, so you forget that sometimes. You need to shut that down, and that is what the Fire Grenade is for. Now kills need to come quick here for Team Cakes if they want to win this right here right now. But Ambi is doing such a good job to stay in the front line. And Kate onto that Reaper, close to that Death Blossom. Coalesces up for Ultima Mako, keeping the sustain on. Flashback now connecting, Graviton Surge not eaten up, but the payload being pushed. The Moira has to push on forward. Fatalist will go down, and here comes trouble, here comes the pressure. Rocks and London being bounced around, and Team Kicks, they can feel already this potential full cap, and they will be able to make it with a minute 37 on the clock.
Yeah, it's pretty much the Washed Up Homies was staggered that whole team fight. Like, they took too long. They didn't group up in time after they lost their spawns were pretty much destroyed by Cakes. So the problem was like they never fought as 6, and every single time one would come out, one would die, and then the next one would come out, and then he'd die too. So I think they could have held it better if they all just waited for all their respawns to sync up and push as 6, compared to going in 1 by 1.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It really is how that round really unfolded. But hey, for Team Cakes, very commendable from an almost getting full held. Honestly, in the first points, they just snowballed their visibility. It was really solid from second to third, and they had enough time to get those kills. It was very dicey, of course, with spawn advantage, but when the going gets tough, apparently the rest of the members getting suffer, and kudos to Team Cakes. Tying things up here in Hollywood, we are going to have a 2-round affair for a second map, Mr. Billy.
It's gonna be like a 2 CP map wherein it's gonna become 6-6.
Nah. You don't get that. You don't get that in
This is
in
not
these
King's
types.
Row.
This is not
King's Row.
I don't think we've ever gone 3 rounds King's Row. Come on. I don't think we've ever
No,
done
but
that.
we've reached a map count of 5 points.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's okay. That's okay. No, 2 rounds is fine, and payload is exciting enough because the map can end at any time. One fight,
one sick
and
mode.
And the spawn isn't just there, right? Compared to 2CP where the spawn is right there and it becomes stagger central. So anyway though, keep an eye on Freak. He's on the high ground. I like to see him watching movies, so looking for the surprise factor, and sticky bombs do connect, but it doesn't matter because the Reaper's is gonna be like, I'm going ghost, and he will just throw those down onto the floor. Big nade right now though from Ultima Mako. It's the Moira Ana here right now from the right hand side. No speed boost whatsoever, but love sustain. Gonna be looking for utility along the way. Now, we still criticize this though a little bit. Team Cakes didn't really execute well with the dive earlier on this first point. We'll see though, it's gonna be a difference, and it seems like they start things off strong with the pickup onto Ultima Mako. That was Blackbeard in position to get the beam in time. Sarah though demec yet again, and this is a slow and steady push that is falling apart, but still frags on the board here, and now Cakes having a chance if they can keep up against the front line, and Ambi trying to survive, and Red Rose bringing in the damage instead. Here comes Kato fragging out, and in the end, it is still Washed Up Homies holding the line. But for Cakes, if they are speedy, they might be able to get a few kills here and there that will surprise the opposition.
Yeah, that was great frag there by K, but I think K should really be focused on staying on the high ground more, because she could have cleaned up more and maybe have more than...
Clean up. Real quick, Mr. Billy, though, that's their shatter for Mr. Lone, and that should be enough to get the stun in question. Fatalist trying to move on forward. Red Rose is just 1 away from the trance, but he will not get it in time because K with the shutdown instead. Beautiful Deadeye into the middle. Red Rose will get that kill in response. Here comes the lead of Ferox and London, but the leap of fate isn't going to be enough. And Washed Up Homies, 1 tick is all they need to get this map under their belt.
Dive is not suited for Cakes as much compared to the dive of Washed Up Homies. I think they should be playing that Rhine Zarya. I think that suits their playstyle more, because every time they play dive, I think it takes too long for them to dive, wherein it takes a lot of poke damage, so when they dive, they're not at full HP.
That's true. It's for, like, the big comparison is just basically look at Ambi's health bar when they dive and look at Roxy's health bar when they dive. It's a night and day difference. And well, basically with stereo on that diva, you can also see I don't think this is the bigger factor. It really has to be that Winston, but also yeah, you said before, Stereo does take a little more damage compared to Lone when he's on the dive. So yeah, that's something. Watch the Foamies will change things up, and it's Lone now on the Winston. And Ambi is on the Diva. So yeah, they're gonna look to see how this one's gonna work for them. They have a little time to experiment anyway, so might as well. But I kind of do like Ambi on that Winston a little more, honestly. You know, it is what it is though. We'll see if it's gonna work.
They have 3 minutes. They have 3
minutes. Lone is really aggressive, but sometimes you don't want to be that aggressive to a point.
As a Winston.
Especially as a Winston. You know, it's
You're all
too
in.
much. They're all in. Maybe they can play like Wrecking Ball Winston as Lone on Cole and then Ambi on Winston. I think it's something that can do. Or vice versa. But we are getting the bashing competition that they're looking for. Interesting enough though, they're playing Lucio with it. Okay, so the problem here, guys, is the Bastion doesn't move, and the Lucio doesn't really heal well. So you kind of don't need this. You kind of don't need this.
Playing music for them.
Yeah, play music for them. Honestly, Spotify Premium. I'd love to see them play that Mercy instead for Blackbeard or an Ana. One of those things. That'd be really, really good to get things done. You know, pocketing that Echo can be effective if you have the Bastion. In the meantime, pocketing the Bastion is another good deal. But they lose the Bastion immediately. And on to the point, the double shield goes. Blackbeard, though, taking the angles. Goes for the focus beam right here, right now. Trying to get as many kills as possible. Mako will go down. And Lone gonna fall in the field of battle. Now, honestly, Team Cakes was forced to play deep. Watch the Homies rather was forced to play deep because Cakes did back out, but I feel like Watch the Homies taking that the wrong way because their Bastion retreated. They could have just gone for the point. There's one tick.
Yeah. They focused on the Bastion too long and they didn't even touch the... They didn't even notice that the Immortality field was up, so he dealt so much damage before he actually died.
Indeed, indeed. And honestly, when you see the Bastion back off like that, usually in a normal setting, that is like the team giving up one tick so they can reposition and go shoot at the point with everyone down below. But watch the Homies, they kind of forget that their win condition is just only 1-6, so this is a little bit of notice there. It's ridiculous though. That's Shiver cleaning up free, getting the click. That was really strong. That was some good stuff there. But anyway, we see the resurrection right now. Sun bringing Freak back into life, and Blackbeard in the meantime coming close to the duplicate. Will we see the first ever throw here in the new Invitationals? That'd be interesting. Lone though blocking his head, and he's not able to get back from the point. Fox is trying to get onto the high ground. Here comes Blackbeard right now. Gonna be turning into the Genji, and the Blade to go for the shutdown. Kado will fall down immediately. Team Cakes looking to hold the line, and it seems like this defense is looking really, really strong. Freak though with a Hero Blade, and it is not gonna be enough to get anything done. Cakes holding the line yet again. They did go off from the Bastion to the Soldier 76, and I like this comp better right now because since they have the Lucio, at least they can utilize that speed boost to help the Soldier move up in a proper spot.
I'd like to point out too, Blackbeard's doing so much for his team. He's dealing so much damage before he's doing what pretty much K was doing to them, where they deal so much damage before they actually get to dive. Like, he's doing so much for his team, staying in the backline.
Yeah, but hey, watch the Foamies engaging yet again. Nanoboost right now onto the Winston sound barrier. It's the play, and Blackbeard again with the punish stereo though, with the flux going for the channel, and catches out the 2 attacks. It's gonna be absolutely huge damage. And watch the Foamies was so close at getting that tick. It still doesn't happen. Cakes looking for a sweet ending for this map, and it seems like it is gonna be very, very close. Ambi has nowhere to commit suicide. I think the Diva just has to run on in, but Blackbeard with a shutdown, looking to get the kill. Oh no, Blackbeard gonna die to the hand of the baby Diva! How did this happen? How does this unfold? What's up, homies? That is ridiculous! Ambi with an absolute clutch there, and overtime taking on down. It's bomb time from Ambi, and he blows up the eye field. A little help there from K, but Shiver is still on the board. Freak in the meantime, getting a takedown there. The Reaper in his face. Very much a struggle there from Team Cakes, and oh my god, is this how this defense is gonna fall apart? Blackbeard though back into the fight. This time gonna get the shutdown onto Ambi. On the backside, the Sigma trying to survive. Stick bombs do connect, but the takedown being taken, and Blackbeard the only one left. And oh my god, what a way to lose there! Watch the Ponies will take it 4-3, and that was just because that baby Diva got the clutchest kill of them all.
I think this is why they put Ambi on Diva.
Oh my god, because he's a baby Diva god.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god.
Like we can say this. They won that because of Ambi.
They won that because of Ambi.
Not gonna lie.
They're honestly. Yeah, go ahead.
Like Ambi get the pick against an Echo nonetheless. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude!
Most enjoyable.
If you're cakes right now, I think you're gonna feel pretty devastated about that.
It is an honor.
I'm devastated about that, not gonna lie. I'm
Oh
pretty
my
devastated
god.
about that. Oh my god. And the legendary onto the Genji, but hey. Honestly, it was close to our first
Speechless.
ever draw. But I'm just like, I was already like, when I saw the Baby Diva survive and get that one, but hey. Whew, the halftime gonna be very, very helpful for that and ridiculous stuff, honestly. Well, yeah, we'll take a break. Well, we need a break. I need a break after that one because my heart, guys, my heart after that round, and we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Holy crap, Billy. Anyway, this is the new Invitationals. Watch Up Homies versus Cake. The teams need this. The teams need this. I need this, and we'll be right back after our halftime into this one. So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and for our halftime report, we are going to have Mr. Lone of Watch That Homies, while Mr. Billy is making a little bit some din-din, because he's a hungry, hungry boy after seeing that Hollywood match. But hey, Mr. Lone, how you doing tonight?
I'm fine. I just woke up actually.
Good, great. That's also something I was like, Arang, why is this game 5v5? Who's missing on no team? So I was like, there's a tank missing there, and apparently Lone is like, he needs a wake up call, and Ambi doing his good
Abby was
job.
calling me, dude,
He
from
did.
Facebook.
He's like what do you call this? He's like one of those. It's like a girlfriend trying to call you to wake up. Oh, it was funny because I had the same feel. I woke up like 15 minutes before. I took a little nap to be ready for this one, and then yeah, I was like, oh shit, what is this? What is this? What happened? Was it an earthquake or something? But hey. Congratulations, Mr. Lon. You have finally been able to play the video game after a
Thank
long,
you,
long
thank you.
sabbatical, after bans and technical issues. So, how does it feel to be back on the field after so long?
I guess it feels great. I get to play again.
Yes, sir, and I'm glad that you are here to just show on up and bring in another flavor of Washed Up Homies. And speaking of flavor, now this is very interesting. It is you and Ambi together in the tank line, and
Yeah.
talk us through that. It's very very interesting that you guys are the ones playing together. When you were playing on that main tank, it was Ambi trying to fill in the DPS, and when you were gone, he was the been playing main tank. So how does it work right now? What's the roles? What's the setup here for Washed Up Homies?
Actually, I'm not sure. I think Blue can't play. That's why I played. But originally it was Blue, and I was supposed to be the one who's gonna be subbed out.
I see, I see. So yeah, just basically the question is, how does it feel right now? You guys are working really, really well together. What makes you decide who plays what? Because I know your hero pool. I know Abby's hero pool. You guys have a lot of intersections, and honestly, the other one can play the other role, that kind of thing. But what makes you gravitate to the hero picks that you've done so far, and what makes him gravitate to the hero picks that he's done so far? Is it your communication as a team, or is it just okay, who has a faster SSD, who loads first, and then okay, you play the other role?
No, no. I guess we just both flex with each other. Like
Mm-hmm.
he can go monkey, I can go monkey. Like either of us can play anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that really is looking to be the case. But in terms of playing, what do you think are like the heroes that you do better, that he does better? So you can
Well,
have
we're
an
both
idea.
main tanks, so
Yeah.
I guess we're both good at main tank. So none of us are actually good at off tank.
Is that the case? Is that the case? Isn't your signature here on off
Actually
tank?
weird.
Isn't your signature here on off tank, Mister Lone? Come on, bro.
I only wanted to play hug.
You only want to play Hog, but hey, you flex over the Reinhardt after your history, and then the rest is there. So kudos so far. Watch the Pomies with the 2-0 lead. It was very close though on that last map. Can you talk us through how it felt on that Hollywood second round first point attack? Because it was very very close, and it was Ambi
Yeah, it
clutching
was
it out with a
intense.
baby diva main, actually getting things done.
Yeah.
Like how was it in the comms and everything? How was that last segment?
Actually, we were waiting until we didn't realize Ambi was still there, and then he got a pick with in the echo. So we just all rushed in after that.
It's honestly pretty ridiculous. You found the pickoff, and it was just enough to open things up. So now we are going to be moving into the second half, which is escort as well as assault. Any plans right now? Vague ones to try and wrap this up and get another match win here for the side of Washed Up Homies. Silence is an answer too. You have the right to remain silent, but
Wait, what? What's the question?
basically, what's the plan for these next two maps? Of course, without
Oh,
exposing your strats.
we're
Like,
just improvising.
okay, you're just improvising, doing the greater job that you can, and well, it has been working really, really well. The aggression there is there, the potency is there, and kudos to Washed Up Homies for another impressive result so far. So thank you, Mr. Lon. Of course, feel free to shout out anyone or everyone you want to in this segment.
I guess my team and our manager Nixer.
Yeah.
Oh, and Cyberbully, our coach.
Wow, the whole gang is there. So thank you, Mr. Lon. I'm gonna toss you back to your team, because we're gonna have to discuss what the next map is gonna be. But yeah, thank you for giving us your time, and good luck for the rest of the match. Woo-choo! So Mr. Lon, gonna be back into that one, and well, we are waiting on right now for what is the next map. It's gonna be the escort type here for Team Cakes, and so far, our results so far have been really, really interesting to say the least. So Ilios and Hollywood both taken by Watch the Homies, but that was as close as could be, guys. That was such a moment. Even I couldn't keep my cool, and I was just freaking out seeing that Baby Diva get that kill. It really was a really good defense there from Team Cakes, and both sides struggled to play the offense. On Cakes, it was the same problem from their first round. On the side of Watch the Homies, it was just Cakes doing a lot of work, and I feel like we were talking to Lone earlier on, but I feel like I did like the Ambi on Winston, Lone on Diva pairing a little better. But apparently, if Ambi is a god tier Baby Diva, then you want to have Ambi on that Diva. You want to have Ambi on Diva. So it's a little difficult. It's a little difficult to really decide on how it is. But maybe it could have been a little bit different if they played the dive a little differently, or if they played the Ryan Zarya, where I know Lone could do a lot better, to say the least. But hey, you know, it's not about the criticism. It's just like looking into through the looking glass and trying to see what it could have been in the first place. And Watch the Pomi is going to be picking the side whatever they want, as we are going to be getting into a map number 3. And that map here and now, ladies and gentlemen, will apparently be Watchpoint Gibraltar. So I like this pick here for Team Cakes. They are going to be looking to get into the action in a different way. It's like, apparently I was just typing it there, so good production value, guys. So yeah, Watchpoint Gibraltar gonna be next on the list, ladies and gents. And well, third map into this one. And just how it plays, I can see the Blackbeard might be able to play that Echo yet again, because he was so on fire with the Echo on that Hollywood map, using different angles here and there. Just highly unfortunate. And the closest of all quarters, losing to Baby Diva. It has to hurt sometimes. It has to hurt the pride. Anyway, though, it seems like we are going to be getting into the action in just a bit. And, well, while Mr. Billy is making some pancakes and looking to fill his belly up, we are getting filled up by the action here by Watch the Homies as well as Team Cakes. Now it's time for map number 3 to get on going. And we'll see how this is going to go for this next bout. Now, Team Cakes has gone for a role substitution. It's Red Rose going to be playing that off-back. They're back on the supports. And let's get it on. Let's get it done. Let's go yet again into map number 3. It's Cakes on the defense, it's Watch the Homies on the offense, and this is the New Wave Invitationals, our first match for tonight. And we are having a blast here, ladies and gents, and we are going into another game. So welcome back to the New Wave Invitationals. My name is Daks, and you probably know that already. We have been here for 7 weeks, guys. We have been here for 7 weeks. And I never expected this to reach this long. Not gonna lie. I never expected this. I thought it was just gonna be a month thing. And it's already May. I feel like we're gonna go into June for the regular season at most. Just to keep it chill. We don't need to rush things anyway. And maybe end of June might be the playoff tournament. Maybe July. Something like that. You know, we're just winging it. And we're just looking to get these teams to be as best as they can be, and it has been such an improvement by so many of our teams here in the New Wave Invitationals. I have to commend all the hard work they put. Honestly, I thought this is gonna be a very, very chilled thing where people are just gonna be like, hey, this is a once a week, twice a week we play Overwatch. But I'm hearing scrims, I'm hearing practices, I'm hearing discussions, coaching. It's like ridiculous how this has blown on up, and we thank you guys for how this has been very, very successful. Honestly, it's been fun. I've had a lot of fun doing this. It is something to do with the local Overwatch community, and they have been a pleasure to work with along the way. Anyway, though, it's time for that solo cast. It's been a while again. We weren't able to host Pugs yet again because I devoured one more time yesterday. So let's practice for Pugs coming into this one. It is a dive competition though for Watch the Homies. They are going to be getting in through with the pain yet again. And this is really good. Ambi is on the Winston this time. Lone on the Diva. And even though Ambi is the better Baby Diva main, Lone is probably the better Diva main itself. And it is just looking so good for Watch the Homies. The protection that Ambi and Lone are able to work together, it is just such synergy along the way. And with basically Ambi a little more relaxed with his own hand, he feels a lot better to put on that Winston. It feels like a stable gorilla instead of a wild chimpanzee going into the thrall. But you know what is gonna be wild? It is gonna be Freak with a freak show yet again. Dragon Blade into the front. And it's just Team Cakes unable to do anything right now. Blackbeard, there are waiting good shots up on top, but Watch the Homies has already opened up the door, and Love is an open door. It seems like Gibraltar the same thing. Lone right now with the push, the Baby Diva, it's not Baby Diva actually, it's the Mechanical Diva getting the punish, and is very, very close to that self-destruct already. Anyway, though, yeah, here comes Lone, and he is going to be setting up on that payload. Now, with the dive composition, they can just go for the leap on in, but I would have loved to see them actually go for the chokehold. Here on Watchpoint Gibraltar, it is actually really difficult to be on the defense if you are just getting snowballed because of how the chokes work on the other side. That could have been an opportunity there for Watch the Homies to really punish them by the doorway. So instead, it turns into a more stable fight. Self-destruct though into play. Ambi trying to go for a few knockoffs here and there with the Primal Rage, but unfortunately, the 45 from Rox and Londe completely on point. Stereo though with this rally, and in the meantime, Blackbeard now with a dead eye will get deflected back as Freak pops it at the right time. Payload though being pushed. Red Rose right now on the board. It is the Orisa Hog. And when Red Rose is on the off check, it means that they are going to be playing that Orisa composition. The only reason why the Red Rose was there in the first place was to play this Roadhog. And in the meantime, Stereo on the brig. I like this a lot for Team Cakes. They don't really need that speed too much. They could have used it for the Reaper, of course. But on a map like this, the Shadow Step is enough to get into angles, and the repair packs are so helpful to keep the armor and the life alive. Anyway, no action on all fronts, and the Death Blossom is available here for Team Cakes. Super though has to retreat. K right now on the spar still, and even though it's indoors, it really is a lot of space for Far still will work with. Has to be very careful though, because those are the angles that Blackbeard and Shiver can take. Reminiscent of the third point of Hollywood, how Shiver was just punishing K on that far to begin with, and this might be a consideration right now for Watch the Homies to just let loose the juice and go for the broad suicide play. If they're gonna take the sweet time on this Farah, they might get punished by this Reaper, this McCree, and with the Orisa getting the holds in time, it's gonna be pretty effective to say the least. Anyway, though, it's still Watched Up Homie. It's gonna be an to the forefront. Why are we saying sorry about we? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Why are we apologizing here? But for now, it is gonna be Team Cakes. Gonna be lucky to defend yet again. Nano Blade will be shut down by the Sleep Dart. Well played there by X-Fatalist. This guy, he knows his abilities on the Ana. Rock Barrage right now from K. Just looking for a few kills. This has to be a swap already. But ridiculous stuff from Fatalist again. Either the grenade or the Sleep Dart. One of the two. Gonna be absolutely huge. And Team Cakes able to defend yet again. It really was just the fact that Watch the Homies gave them their space. In Gibraltar, if you give your opponent room to breathe in your choke, in your strangle, in your momentum, that is when you are going to get punished and have to basically fight a normal game. This could have been Watch the Homies having an easier time, and that is one of the problems of Gibraltar to begin with. For Team Cakes, at least they're stabilizing, so that there is that. Anyway, though, rally right now from Stereo. Freak though, playing the Widowmaker instead. And like the angles being taken, Shattered right now being tossed out by Ambi. And in the meantime, it's Stereo cleaning up Ambi along the way. Now, this is the other consideration of Watch the Homies. That's why we wanted the interview there, as Shiver decides to go for the Death Blossom on the inside. And a scenario where both your tanks can play the same role, and one plays one comp better than the other. The problem is when the other comp is needed to be played, it gets really awkward. Now, they can go for a role swap with Ambi on the Zarya instead and Lone on the Reinhardt, sure. But Lone wants to stay on the Diva, wants to go contest that high ground. And yeah, Watch the Homies is gonna be in a situation where it's a little awkward right now. I'm not saying they're bad on the plays right now, but they have proven themselves that there is an optimal way to play certain compositions for them, especially with the Lone Ambi configuration. I personally think this is the best configuration to have on the tank line. But yeah, it is Mr. Aggro Ryan who destroys everything, but also Mr. Stable Winston who keeps everything in check for the dive, and Team Cakes is just punishing this all the way. There is just a little bit of a struggle right now for Watch the Homies. They weren't able to take advantage of anything. K though, I like to swap over to the McCree, but it feels like it's a little too late right now. They only have a minute remaining. The McCree though is a pick that doesn't need the ultimate, but Blackbeard has been on fire so far and is going over to potentially go to the high ground. Did they see the McCree? Oh, the punish happens! And K, we're gonna push on forward with Ultima Mako. 65 right now. Opportunity here to Watch the Homies to move on through. And here comes trouble yet again. Self-destruct though into play in behind. That is gonna be Roxalonde unable to survive there. Didn't have the barrier in time. Coalesces though from Ultima Mako. Red Rose in the meantime with a Bull Hog. And K gonna get on the board yet again. Blackbeard though. Tracer this time to go for the zip on in. Not a boost onto the Tracer. Gonna be able to survive even this flashbang there. And will it be enough to get rid of K? Yes, it is. Cakes right now holding the line yet again. Impressive effort here from the blue hand side. Wash the homies in the meantime. Trying to get a push on Roxalonde on the wrecking ball. I like this because it's gonna be very, very annoying. Ambi will have to go for the charge to get that touch if he can make it. Shatter right now looking to connect. And it will catch out one. That will still be the stun though. Actually catches out two. The pin gonna be there into play. Red Rose in the meantime going into the forefront yet again. And it is all about this Roadhog getting as much potency as possible. I'd love to see Washed Up homies go for the mirror in the Roadhog competition because Red Rose is absolutely fire right now. Gets the hook onto load. Will basically get the shutdown with the Death Blossom to make sure that this is gonna be a hold. Washed Up homies cannot finish this map this time. Cakes has woken on up. And this is a different piece coming into this one. I still feel though that it is more or less a Washed Up homies kind of throwing it away in a way. They didn't do this actively, but they didn't notice that in a map like this, you have to go for the chokehold, or else it is going to be a difficult endeavor to say the least. Staying on a few picks here and there that weren't optimal, unable to capitalize on optimization, and Team Cakes with the proper comp, with the proper timing, with some really good execution, and they hold the line. Really good map pick this time from Team Cakes. It seems like they know what they're doing when they get a map pick. And that's really, really interesting to see because for them, these map picks really do matter. It's not just like, hey, you guys want to play this? On Hollywood, they put up such a good fight. Here on Gibraltar, they actually get hold. Compared to Ilios, where even though they did put a pretty good fight on both sides, it still was a 2-0. So, you know, practice makes perfect. And Team Cakes, they just want to make sure that there's no hair on the plate. And they are good to go. What the hell is that?
Type echo.
That's sorry about that, guys. That was I don't know. I was like I hallucinating or something. Hopefully everything's okay on the outside world. So I'm gonna have to check that out after this match real quick, ladies and gents. But anyway, we are gonna be getting into the game yet again. For Team Cakes though, Orisa and the Hog gonna be into play one more time. And yeah, the Orisa comp is something that Team Cakes do like to play a lot, and I've seen the comfort, I've seen their utility with it, and they do get some really good value with the halts as well as the hook to boot. In the meantime though, Freak right now on the Widowmaker. Washed Up homies giving up a lot of space, honestly. Very, very interesting. Bronze Iron though between Lone and Ambi this time. It is Lone on that Reinhardt though, so yeah, they are gonna be looking to really figure out which way is best. It seems like they're a Tetris line, but they're trying to figure out what's the best way to finish up the line itself. Is it gonna be the L block? Is it gonna be the T block? Will it be the big block? You know, it's the big line. You know, they have to figure it out. They have to understand. They have the parts that they need, and they know that they can finish it off as a whole. But right now it's configuration that they're trying to figure out, and this is growing pains right now for Washed Up homies. But I see the optimization here being done by the defensive squad. Blackbeard though on this Echo, really good pick right now to roam around the map. Really goes to show that they understand Gibraltar to a good degree. That is Sticky Boss connecting, and Freak will get shut down. Ultima Mako in behind, trying to get the angle, trying to get the shots. But Blackbeard surviving with 10 HP. It's time for the top up. And Team Cakes trying to climb this ladder, trying to go over the ramp. Well, in the meantime, being halted on around. And was that Mr. Billy? Are we good to go in just a bit? Hello, welcome back, Mr. Billy. That is a hold right now, but for the time being though, Nana Boost, and it's a shatter on Washed Up homies again with a lot of ultimates. They pretty much they did it. They used everything, and that should be enough to hold the line. But you know, come on, be careful. It's the second time we see this in series. They really need to be careful. Yeah, it's like unbind Q.
Hey guys, I have Q too.
No, it's like, hey guys, can you pause real quick? We only want the ultimate, so can everyone else unbind their Q, please? that'll be pretty funny. It's like you pause just to make sure that's gonna happen. So, were you able to catch at the match, Mr. Billy, or were you not?
I wasn't able to.
Okay, so
sorry.
It's okay. Story of the life is second point hold. It's pretty much because the choke didn't happen. You know how usually the snowballs work on Gibraltar, right? Because of the doorways.
Yeah.
And Team Cake's playing a very comfort composition with the Orisa Hog, the Kree Reaper, the Brig, and the Ana, and it was enough for them to hold the line for a long period of time. But here on the attack, they're getting held pretty well by Washed Up Homies, with Lone right now on the Reinhardt and Ambi on the Zarya. So it's pretty much the same points we were making a while ago, and we are seeing it in action right now. Speaking of the action though, Rally gonna be into play, Nana Blade though onto the high ground, and Shiver! This is pretty much what he is known to do. Ambi though unfortunately whipping the Graviton there, and the Blade is free. That's a team kill. Team Cakes opening up a pathway, and they are poised to try and take this map away.
That was a clean Nano Blade if I ever seen one.
And that was
he just got kill after kill. Dash reset after dash reset.
And that was a Graviton surge to question. That was the truth about that. Kinda.
I think Ambi expected Shiver to just dash down and not up to the high ground. So I think that's more of a reactive grab.
Unfortunate though. And anyway, Team Cakes now open the door.
Oh.
Red Rose reaching again, and it's a contender. I'm a believer here with Team Cakes with the Roadhog. Red Rose is doing a good job.
God.
Huge nade though from X-Fatalist. Red Rose with a pick, and Low right now in a spot of trouble. Team Cakes with a lot of momentum here, Billy. They are looking to go for the push. They are going for the whole token again.
God.
Ridiculous stuff from Brox and Lodi and Red Rose, but Lone again going for the shatter. Mr. Aggression all the way into the forefront, but Red Rose says, no sir, it's not gonna happen. Stereo gonna get the stun as well. Here comes Blackbeard right now with the Winston duplicate, and they are really trying to get things to work. They are trying to get his poke hold already. Freak in the meantime, hooked up again, and the CC is absolutely ridiculous here from Team Cakes. Ambi though already with a kill. Freak in the meantime, Nana boosted up, and this might be the saving grace here for Washed Up Homies. This Reaper is the best way to deal with the tank line, and Nana boosted even more potent, but Shiver wants to go for the hero blade right here, right now. Nana boost gonna be able to get 3, and Team Cakes is just cutting a path of destruction. What a clutch play from both DPSs on both sides, but the fight's not over yet. Shiver gonna get that shut down. Red Rose on the board, and Cakes will get a back off Washed Up Homies. Well played by Team Cakes.
It's Red Rose, like dude, that's the second point. Red Rose with his picks. Oh my god, dude. Pick after pick, hook after, every time it's on cooldown, he gets a kill. Every time. And he even stopped Freaks, Freaks ult. That could have potentially wiped out his team.
Yeah, and well, Shiver apparently the human highlight reel. I forgot who got it on Hollywood, but he got it on the first map. So well, you know, Shiver did a lot of work, but oh my god, this is that Orisa Hog from Roxy and Red Rose. Magnifique.
Yeah, dude. Their coordination's top notch, especially that pull hook combo. Like they don't Roxy doesn't pull if he knows that Stereo does not have his hook up, and Stereo doesn't hook if he knows that the pull's not up. So it's like they both wait for each other.
It's Red Rose actually on the offside.
Red Rose, sorry,
yeah.
Red Rose.
So they went back to their original configuration. So Billy with Red Rose
worked out well for them.
Yeah, I think when they have Stereo, they have a more safer playstyle, and they realize they can't do that against someone like Washed Up Homies. I mean, it worked out well enough on Hollywood. Not gonna lie, it was really close, but you know they wanted to be more of the aggressors this time, and it worked out.
Trading off aggression.
Yeah, it's just like play aggression against aggression, and Cakes wins that one out 2-1. Very impressive, and I would love to see Alone now go on the Roadhog as well. It's like, hey, that's my hero.
Let's see who the better hog is. I'd like to see that matchup too.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. And you know, we have seen a lot from the DPS line on both sides, but we can really say that for both Washed Up Homies as well as Cakes, they do have a lot of different things to hold on to a good degree. On the other side, you know, it really is just there's a lot of stability. That's what I gotta say. Now, it's really interesting if Cyanide was here, it would be very interesting to see on the DPS line, but K is more or less not. This is like even more of a worthy substitute, honestly. That he has been always on points with the duel. And speaking of the duel, right now on the DPS line, we are gonna see those DPS stats set up by Mr. Rebirth. And honestly, Mr. Billy, these DPS right now in the game are kinda at the top of the class in a way. interesting enough, though, K is the one leading that average damage. It really goes to show
Her
that
Pharah. Her Pharah
yeah,
isn't
the
playing.
Pharah, the Pharah with free hit after free hits. It's something Watch the
Especially
Homies is
if they
capitalizing on.
give her a Mercy to play with. Because most of the time they usually play a Zen Ana comp, wherein the Zen's orbs on the Pharah. But she capitalizes on that Discord orb damage.
That's true. And speaking of the stats, let's go into the numbers here, Billy. 9.5k for K average damage compared to everyone else at the 8k mark. It's 8.7 for Freak, 8.4 for Blackbeard, and 8.2 for Shiver. But they are all pretty high. And interesting thing to note on the side of Team Cakes, it's Shiver usually who gets the kills. As we've seen from the bot, he's at a high kill marker, 20.56 average eliminations compared to his teammate, which is only 16.63. Where it feels like Blackbeard is the setup, and Shiver's gonna be like, yoink, my kill now. If we were playing a different game that isn't Overwatch, he would have all the kills. He would be the top fragger, and Blackbeard would be like assist god. That's kind of it's kind of sad in a way,
Yeah.
but
I think
but,
Blackbeard's more of like the opening, like with his Widowmaker or his Tracer. He gets that first pick, which allows his team to snowball.
That's true. That's true. And the Freak Show and the Castagram just able to pretty much do their own kind of thing. It feels like for Watch the Homies it's more independent, but for Team Cakes it's more team based. And it was really interesting how it works because we're seeing more independence from Team Watch the Homies, and they're winning through mechanics, and they have the flexibility to work as a team. But for Team Cakes, they really feel like they are a team. That it's like an all or nothing thing. If they don't all perform well, they're really gonna lose out. If they're all perform together, they're gonna lose out. It really isn't too much of a hero show there from Cakes. The best you can say is Shiver, but he's usually enabled by everyone else, right?
Yeah, and right now as we've seen, they're now finally capitalizing on those nades, those god tier nades of X-Fate. He always gets 2 to 3 nades in, and with Red Rose being on that Roadhog, he can just melt any tank in his face that's purpled.
Indeed. And anyway, we are gonna be getting into map number 4, and can we give up Red Rose to the other team? What is this? What is
Wait, what's
this
this?
trade? Like Roxy's
Why?
like, can
Why aren't
we?
they trading?
I don't know.
I thought Rose was the person they want to keep.
I don't know, right? I know, right? But hey, we are gonna get the map number 4, and it is Hanamura coming into this one. 2-1 the scoreline. We're gonna trade the Red Rose for no one, so 7v5 got it. I'll give you easy Roadhog bot. I'll give you Roadhog bot then. It's funny. It's just like, but
Do it.
bring out
I
Red
dare
Rose,
you.
and I'll do it.
Kick-
I'll do it.
Kick
I'm not
Red
gonna
Rose
kick.
and then
I'm
put
not gonna kick Red Rose. Make it Roadhog hard Lucia, please. I'm not gonna kick. I'm not gonna kick Red Rose, guys. I'm not gonna kick him. There you go.
Put the
There you
hype.
go.
There
There
we
you go.
go.
There you go. There you go. Cakes ready. There you go, guys. There you go. You're good to go. No, I need Billy. I will nano trans. Yuck.
Starting.
Starting. Anyway, both our teams are
Oh,
good to
Nano
go.
Trans. Okay, Billy in.
No, shut up. Shut the hell up, Billy. We are gonna get into map number 4. And this is Hanamura. We're wasting too much time already. We are going the long haul, apparently, into this one. We still have another match to go, guys. And let's get it on. Let's get it done. What's up,
These
Mr.
games are
Billy?
lasting pretty long, huh? Like long team fights.
Yeah, the Hollywood map also the longer one there. But hey, we are going to map number 4,
You're
ladies
on
and gentlemen.
Hanamura.
And it'll be interesting. Okay, so this is a conundrum we don't really see too much in the New Wave Invitationals, not gonna lie. So if Draw the Moor actually happens, it's Watch the Homies takes the win. This is old school Overwatch League format. So remember, if you get a draw, neither side gets points. So
I hate this map for so many reasons.
so anyway, if Watch the Homies, their win con is draw or win. They can win.
I will say this now. Cakes better win this because they played against Meme Court. My God, they reached round 3.
Ugh. Okay, so apparently I was being told in Scrim while I was enjoying the best game ever, Fallout 76. So if anyone wants me to buy me that game, feel free to send it over at steamcommunity.com/id/dax628. No. What will you do with Fallout 76? Only I
Rub
can
it in your
handle it.
face.
I don't really care. It's a shit show that only I can play. It's like, what the fuck are you doing with it? You're not gonna play it. It's a complete waste. It's like there's no rubbing
Collection.
into it. It's like you're rubbing a turd in my face. That's it. Only I will be messing with the third. And oh, it's the cake summoning circle again on the rock garden. So yeah, let's talk about the game again, real quick. Now again, on the other side, Cakes, if they win this, we are actually gonna have our first map 5. We're actually gonna have our first ever map 5.
Yeah, I like to see that, honestly. This is an even game.
Yeah,
This is anyone's game.
Indeed, indeed. So, okay, here we go into the game. Here comes Ambi now leaping on forward, and it's a dive here for Watch the Homies with Ambi on the Winston. So, we have discussed it in pretty much lengths here in our series. Ambi for Winston, Lone on Reinhardt's, and they are good to go for all their comps. Blackbeard right now trying to get in behind, but Ambi is going for the chase. Good shield dance here from the Winston, and he really knows how to survive, Billy. This guy is like an endangered species, and he is just Steve Irwinning his way to victory right now. Watch the Homies
He
with
knows how to play
630.
that hero.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I love it.
He's one of those players who's near on that high scaling. Like Winston on paper looks easy to play, but you know once you get onto the high scaling, like you can do so many good amazing plays with Winston.
Yep. And Orisa Hog right now from Team Cakes trying to make it through, but honestly, on that 2CP map,
Not dive.
yeah, it's a little difficult right now. But well, we'll see how this is gonna work. Lone does go for the dash on in, takes a stereo. There is a lot of practical options for Team Cake, so it can really mitigate a lot of the dive, but it is just a lot of punishment here from Watch Up Homies. They already get that first take pretty much for free. Coalescence here from Sona as well, giving chase, vaporizing Blackbeard, and Watch Up Homies. It seems like just that one map was the gimme, because they are just giving all they got here on Hanamura, tearing everyone apart along the way. Kate right now ready with that rocket barrage. Sees Shiver and lets it rain onto the McCree. There is no surviving whatsoever. Red Rose cannot get the shutdown. Self-destruct right now to get the zone on, and the Autumn will fall immediately. Washed Up Homies all cleaning up on Hanamura. 5:06 on the clock. Execution completely on point. 16 kills to 1. Ridiculous stuff from the attack.
That was a demanding start, demanding first round 1 to say the least. Like if you watch the kill feed, pretty much 0 to no one died on the washed up homie side. Like if you look at their stats right now, only 1% died.
Yeah, one
That whole
kill.
map. K.
Okay.
And that's because Farah being Farah, like pretty much, if she's not free, she will die. But other than that, the whole team have 0 deaths.
You know
And
the
just
bigger
goes to
thing?
show how their aggression is.
You know the bigger thing, Billy? Look at Ambi. 2.4k damage taken. 0 deaths. 2.4k damage taken compared to Red Rose and Roxy. 2.8, 2.2 with 2 deaths each. That is a Winston that can survive. That is a Winston that knows what the fuck he's doing. And well, washed up homies. With really good dive execution. And Lone is doing it! Lone is not taking this. Lone is not taking that last
I
shot.
love it.
No, he is. So we are getting the pug composition of choice. So I see this every time from Ambi and Lone when they are together. The pugs is Ryan Roadhog. Because Lone wants to play Roadhog, and Ambi's like, okay, fine, play Roadhog, and he will play the Reinhardt instead. I don't think Ambi plays so much Orisa, honestly. And if they haven't practiced the hold hook like Team Cakes, then you know, it's
Comfort picks.
okay.
I think comfort picks are good.
Can't go wrong with that. But we have seen Ambi a little more passive on the Roadhog, so Lone will have to really look to work to get those kills. Because, yeah, 3 DPS technically here for Watch the Homies. They're playing double flyer as
No
well.
mercy.
Zen Ana, interesting enough. And you usually, when you play double flyer, I think you kind of have that mercy. It really is just all about the utility there. But here comes the symmetric play right now from Team Cakes. Movement straight to the point immediately. I feel set up all of nowhere. And in the meantime, go for the charge. And Watch the Homies is just like, we know where you're gonna be. We know how you're gonna play this. We know exactly what the position you are gonna take. And that is
Ambi
enough for them.
already has each other.
And like, it was so telegraphed for Ambi. He positioned himself to go for a charge because he knew how the teleport was gonna work. And it's
I
a
also
very,
like to
very
point
cheesy
out-
comp.
I just like to point out, like before they even all teleported, Ambi got a 6-man fire strike.
That's a lot of value. Less than a minute in, Shatter is available already. Ambi is doing the work overall into this game.
I don't think
But-
Cakes know.
I don't think they know, but you know, they'll find out very soon, Billy. As soon as Ambi presses that Q, that is going to be the ground quaking beneath their feet. Braxton Londo though trying to push on forward. Freak in the meantime, bouncing all around. Beautiful flashback though, courtesy of Shiver. And Cakes with a good transition on the inside.
There
But
we
here
go.
comes the Shatter, and now that's the rude awakening here. And now Ambi gonna go for a charge. Triple kill, quadra kill coming into this one. And Washed Up Homies just having the heyday that they need on the inside of that temple. Well. Washed Up Homies an impressive defense with a Reinhardt really leading the charge.
Yeah, and the thing is though, they can't really play flankers because Lone is the type of Roadhog that likes to look for those flanker types. Like, he wants those picks, but he wants all of the more his opponents to play those flankers so he can just hook them.
And speaking of the hook though, Lone catching out Red Rose, and it's just a taste of Lone medicine perhaps. Red Rose quite low, beautiful. I feel though from Faithless. And low-key, Faithless doing a really good job on the Batiste, but you can't save everyone. There is no surviving. Wow, even the Amp Mage just to get rid of Ambi there. That was ridiculous though. You saw how that he was flung in the air, and he got the triple headshot onto the Reinhardt with the Amp Matrix below him. That was pretty style points there from Faithless, but he moves on back to his Ana basically. Low-key, Faithless is really good on the off support with the Batiste even, but it's just not enough. It doesn't work out on how Washed Up Homies is playing it, and I feel can only save you for so long before you pretty much die, and the anti-heal might be the bigger thing. Now, where are these two going? Roxy versus Lone, Hook coming into play, trying to get one away right now with the Roadhog, and in the meantime, it is just Freak trying to zip one around. First take taken though, seems like for Watch the Homies didn't have the position. Shiver will eventually get the shutdown onto Lone, and it is Team Cakes moving forward to the objective. Shiver fragging out does get through. Ambi right now with the charge, they can go for the punish here, and now flashback again, absolutely on point, and here comes Mako. I honestly thought Sun would go for the 9 though. I honestly thought that was gonna be an Nano chance. But here comes Ambi right now, staying onto the objective. Roxy trying to go for the shatter. Oh, that whole hog pushing the Reinhardt back. And this fight elongated to such a good degree. K though, with the rock rush from behind, does get 2 more. 3 frags on the board right now for Washed Up Homies. And Freak turning into a Roadhog even. What a stagger, what a way to go. Washed Up Homies stalling for time. And they get the team kill somehow in the end.
It all started with K's amazing flank to get that rocket barrage and surprise onto the Ana and the McCree. Like, she knows that she can't be aggressive because she does not have a mercy and goes for a flank, even though it's gonna take a little bit too long.
But hey, Blackbeard with a beautiful shutdown on the Freak instead. Headshot connects, sound barrier down from Stereo, and Blackbeard is fragging out immediately, trying to bail out his team. Now, Stereo did go for an early sound barrier to try and mitigate damage, but with the Widowmaker popping off, it was absolutely unnecessary because no one was really there to hurt them during shield duration. But hey, it secures the push, it secures them onto the objective, and overtime now ticking on down. K will be spotted this time. Here comes the hook from Red Rose. Doesn't really get too much. Freak stalling for time, but there's no real point by this point unless he can go for the 1v6. I don't think it's gonna happen even for someone like Freak. And yeah, Team Cakes taking all those ticks. 3 minutes on the clock. Last hurrah here for Team Cakes. They still want to try and get things done.
Like,
yeah, they have to be.
They burn so much time.
I don't blame them. It really was such a good haul for them to begin with, and by this point in time, Blackbeard on the board again. Shatter right now for Ambi. When Ambi equals Shatter, people equals dead. That is the equation right now for Washed Up Homies. And remember, guys, this is only our first match today. I know we're going a little overtime on the back because this match is going the long haul. This is a really impressive affair for both Cakes as well as Washed Up Homies, and they are doing so much work overall into the series. The McCree on the board again. Red Rose right now trying to get on the way. 2:15 on the clock. This defense for Washed Up Homies still looking pretty much in charge of this game.
Red Rose though, is trapped.
Goodbye. You know, a better Rose is there. And another shatter, this time Roxy Londe all alone. And, you know, it's just not gonna happen this time. I feel like for Cakes, they might have to go back to the drawing board. I do like their Widowmaker pick though, if they can secure the high ground from the opposition. Oh, Blackbeard pick not. Gonna get a free hit there actually with Freak not paying attention. But yeah, Blackbeard, when given space, is able to really frag out.
And the way Red Rose is playing, I think he needs to know now that he can't insta-give anyone as much as he wants to because of that Zarya bubble.
That Blossom though available, Nano Boost right now into play, and Team Cakes just trying to overrun the opposition with absolute sheer force. When you get the Nano Raper, it really just goes to show that you want to play CQC. It is just all about getting in the way. Brendan's right now with the hook, Inversight is available, and now it is going to be time to see how everything is going to unfold. Here comes the sound barrier from Ultima Mako. Watch that Homie still going for the fight, and that is a really long sound barrier from Stereo. Now, as a Lucia main, it looks really cool to do that, but you don't want to be doing it from way too high up because it will take your sweet time to land on the ground to get that shield, and it really cost them one member in that offense. But I digress, it still is Cakes right now in position to try and take this point. Good stagger though from Mr. Lon. Freak in the meantime with the pulse bomb in play. Doesn't really get too much, but K sneaky peeky, and we'll be able to get Fatal. Red Rose right now trying to turn things around. Did get a grab onto the McCree. That Blossom into play again. 2 ticks now taken. And for Cakes, zoning game is the game. A minute to 5:28 though. It's such a big time back, really. Will it actually matter right now?
I think they could have capped it early if the target prioritization was a little bit different, because Shiver was targeting the squishies, and if you're playing Reaper, you don't want to be hitting squishies. You want to be hitting that ball that's always in your face, compared to a Lucio that's just jumping around. Like, it took them a while before they actually focused down the ball. They started focusing on the rest of Lone's team before they actually started hitting him, which burned so much time from the time back.
It's pretty ridiculous, actually. You know what's also ridiculous? I don't know what's happening in this house. Really, what's happening in my house? There's so many noises. It's like it's just like so many things happening. I can't like usually I just say I shoot the dog and throw it down. But apparently they're getting it everywhere today. I don't know. It is what it is sometimes. But hey, you know, life is difficult and we move on. Maybe you just wanna be like, come here doggo, and pet, make you fall asleep. But whatever, it's weird. You know, my animals, Mr. Billy, they're usually awake by the time I stream.
Your house is a zoo.
No, the funny thing is, it's when I usually stream. That's when the times are very active, which is really stupid. So,
they want to be famous. They want to be
famous. I know, right? And hey, it is what it is. A minute though, the 5:18 still, 5:28 still big instance.
Loans on Zarya now though.
Yeah. Anyway. Known is on Zarya. So Ryan Zarya, a lot more stable on the defense. I like this better, of course, you know, on Ryan Roadhog it's more about picks, but Ryan Zarya is really the composition of choice. And this is Watch the Homies giving up a lot of space. So Team Cakes played the aggressive way, and that looked kind of dicey, honestly, for Watch the Homies. They gave up everything. They gave up all the space in the world, and they need space for their Soldier 76 and their McCree to do work. Even though they do want to play it safe, because Blackbeard is playing that Widow, playing on the point itself, I don't really recommend this. How about you?
Yeah, I'm surprised that the Reaper died behind the shield of Roxy.
Yeah, and again,
I'm not sure how he died.
Team Cakes might have the opportunity here, but they still need to be careful. Even though they got the space, they still need to get these kills. Shatter right now will connect Ambi again with the shutdown, and it is going to be a whimper here for Team Cakes. What a shutdown from Mr. Ambi yet again. He has been completely on point. He is playing with fire though against the Roadhog at the cliff, but over time not ticking on down. Shiver trying to make it through. Red Rose in the meantime will get knocked down. Oh, he falls over by mistake. Oh, Ambi did get pushed away, and that is enough for Washed Up Homies to defend this one. One tick, and they take the series here and now, Mr. Billy. And it seems like they just avoided each other. They both jumped, and no pin whatsoever. It was still enough to basically get the kill, in essence, on the Roadhog. And Watch the Homies. 5:28 with one tick. I don't know how you can mess this up. I honestly don't know how you can mess this up.
Yes, you can. What you do, you all stay on spawn for 5 minutes.
And then
that's it, draw.
Okay, this is the window. Like honestly, this is the only problem of the 4-map playstyle. Like, not gonna lie, I remember now why people criticize this set, how this set works.
2 CPs last.
Yeah, and now Watch the Homies win. I'm sorry guys. We the utter just realization is like, okay, we're done. Technically, we're done. We don't need to do this anymore. But
you wanna ask them? Or...
No. Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Okay.
They're gonna. Shh. Don't tell them, guys. Guys, I say don't know. They don't know. They don't know. That's pretty much it. But yeah, Watch the Homies has secured the series with a very solid defense there, and now it's just for formality. It's just like you know you're gonna be king, but you just can't wait to be king, and you need to be crowned right now. And Watch the Homies is gonna do that. They are gonna look to get this one tick, and they are basically gonna be playing that Farm Mercy. Freak is onto the high ground though. And I still like the format, not gonna lie. I still like the format because it is all about the season itself. It isn't, you know. It's different from Overwatch League. I never. And it's like, whatever. I liked it always. You know, it's the Bingo. But hey, it's Cave making us like it there. As Shiver gonna get that takedown. Blackbeard in the meantime with the arrow. And oh my god, from across the half. That is Blackbeard, a jumping headshot the catch out Sun. I don't think it was really aiming for the first thing to begin with, but watch the homies, and they are
He
trying to
breaks
get this
those.
push. Yeah, let's just take those. And hey, for Team Cakes, they are able to defend. And I'm just trying to remember a reasoning why we did this system. And oh yeah, it was because we do want them to play every single map type. Now the issue right now in Overwatch League, guys, if you watch it right, and we barely see 2 CP, right? Like,
Yeah.
have you been watching it? This is
No one
because it's
likes
like
2CP.
no, like, because it's like first to 3. So if it's 3-0, then you go get this map type. And since in the new Invitationals, our goal is not to be the tier 1 scene, our goal is to make all our players better and improve into the ladder. You get 2 CP eventually, right? Sometimes you're cursed. For me, my curse map is Temple of Anubis. When I want to play competitive, I get Temple of Anubis twice and I just get pissy. I hate that map. But you know, everyone needs to get better. And right now, honestly, we're just talking about random things because Watch the homies, they have a lot of time to basically mess up. They are still playing this side, they go for the intro side, but their win condition right now is K and the Rocket Barrage's ability. They shut down Black Queen first, they make sure that those arrows from across the map not gonna be a big deal, and they got this. Rocket Barrage is available, and that is gonna be an explosion here! Fireworks on bound! Did you forget about the eye field though, and all that damage going on down? That's
No,
one
stat
thing,
padding.
that K. That's it,
Stat
stat pad.
padding
Average
okay.
damage increased, and watch the homies with the match victory.
Very unfortunate. I really thought that during the attack of Cakes that I thought they had it with their comp because, you know, Watch Up Homies gave us so much space. But it was more of like during the time that Roxy went for the swings and the fire strike, who is it? Shiver got picked off before anything started. And when your Reaper gets picked off and you have a Widow, well, once everyone's in the front lines and you don't have a Reaper, you're all pretty much dead.
Indeed, and there you go. Watch the homies with a 3-1 victory. Cakes making it really exciting, especially on Gibraltar and Hollywood. But seems like the better team still winning, and watch the homies taking that one by storm, especially on Hanamura. Again though, when they get the map pick, it seems like watch the homies just understanding how to play the map, and it really goes to show. Really goes to show that they are able to impress. It's a 3-2 victory though for Washed Up Homies, and comments Mr. Billy for that whole series.
I think that during I think I was right about saying like during the first map where it was the control, it was pretty much Washed Up Homies map to win because it's pretty much their bread and butter because, you know, their aggression is gonna pay off in a control point map, and then the next 2 maps you'd see, you know, Cakes step up and put up a fight. But Hanamura, I'm very much surprised on how it happened. Like especially that first take of Washed Up Homies attack. Like they pretty much just steamrolled Cakes at that point. But kudos to Cakes for turning it around in their attack. But they just ran out of time
Yeah,
in the end.
and yeah, it really was just that when it was like it was really dicey. I don't recommend what Washed Up always did on that defense. Playing on point itself,
Especially 2 hit scans.
it's very dangerous. I understand why they want them to push in with how they position their hit scans. But, you know, it's dangerous to just play on point. It's dangerous to just do that. You give up too much space. You give up a lot of things. And if Cakes had a little more tactical know-how, I feel like they could have drawn out a better play than rushing forward, right? They could have used
Yeah.
every other part of the map because of how Watch the Homies was playing that. So that's food for thought, guys. When you are playing on defense, don't play on the point itself unless your composition really needs you to. There's so many comps. There's so many, like, I think every composition you can play off point to a degree. Even Bastion, you don't need to play on point. Unless you're really gonna do the corner strat thing. But hey, it is what it is. Watch the homies though. It was on the offense where it really mattered for them, especially that first round, and they had a big time back, and that was pretty much the show. The maps now. We just gotta check out those maps real quick before we head on for a break for our post game. We still need to set up for our second match, ladies and gents, which will be Open Server versus Meme Court. And Mr. Billy, you have a lot of things to talk about that one, but we will be right back, ladies and gents. This is the New Wave Invitationals, a 3-1 victory here for the Soap Squad of Washed Up Homies. Stay tuned, stick around. We still got more coming your way. So welcome back, ladies and gents, and who we got on the interview is gonna be the manager, actually, of Team Washed Up Homies. It's Nixar coming on, and one of their dearest friends, and honestly was supposed to be one of the original members of this roster, but unfortunately, well, you can tell that story, Nixar. How you doing, though? How are you
Summer.
doing?
I'm good, yeah.
Great to hear, great to hear. So yeah, another victory for Washed Up Homies. And well, you guys are really climbing up the charts. So what's the story about Washed Up Homies? How you guys actually formed together?
Sorry. We actually
Ooh, you're cutting out a little bit. You might need to either open mic or something? Cause you're cutting out probably on your push to talk. Hello, hello.
How about
Hello. You're kinda cutting out pa rin, like a little bit at the end.
oh
It's okay, it's okay. You got this. Talking is hard sometimes, but you got this.
yeah, how
You're still cutting out. You're still cutting out. My heart weeps. My heart weeps.
PH net in a nutshell.
PH net in a nutshell, honestly. And there you go, guys. That's why Nixar is not in this roster. Not gonna lie.
how about
It still cuts. You might want to open mic. Not gonna lie, it's okay. I'll just adjust your volume accordingly if you can, because like it was fine when we tested it real quick on the event. Suddenly it's like
I think it's
yeah, I think it's the internet. So we'll just try our best. We'll try to figure out what you have to say and everything else. So yeah, let's keep it short and simple so you
Yeah.
don't have to, you know. So what's the story of Watch the Homies? How do you guys come together?
well, actually you already know the original stack, right? It
Yeah, I mean for the
started-
audience. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it started with well, I knew Cyanide first, and then he introduced Ambi, and then the rest is history, as they say, because Ambi is actually the Mr. Congeniality of the group. So sometimes we're in a three stack, and then we get three more people, and then he'd say, "Oh, I'm friends with this person. We play a lot, stuff like that." So basically, it's actually Ambi's doing that we're here in this group. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like he's Mr. Sociable, honestly.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
gonna lie, Mr. Ambi's doing so much. So are you proud of how well Washed Up Homies is doing? Like how are you guys taking it day by day? Like as a team, what are usually what you guys do to prepare for the games here, and how do you deal with the success and sometimes the failures of the team? No, what's the story again? What's the team story this time?
Well, I think the previous team members that you already interviewed, they actually put it there already. They put it out there already. We usually just play for fun. We're all competitive, but we usually just strive to do our best. Have fun. Don't take things too seriously. But of course, yeah, we listen to the feedback of our coach, as you know, and other input of our team members, observations, how we can improve this, how we can improve that. So yeah, that's just basically the strategy. Have fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are and enjoying your time. That's for sure. It is great to see. So, next, sorry, just gotta ask though, like is there any spicy stuff about Washed Up Homies? Is there like stories? You guys have any spicy stories you can tell about how you guys are prepared, or just how you guys meet? Something like that. Something to really. Cuento. I want to hear the cuento.
Cuento? I don't know,
Cuento.
something spicy. I don't know. Well, I don't know if I don't know if it's spicy enough, but we poke fun at each other. I mean, all our mistakes and stuff. Yeah, like the infamous ult of Son. The
Mhm.
press queue of of his Zarya.
Oh yeah, that gives you another good question, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, those kinds of things. We teabag each other when we get slept by the enemies, and stuff like that. It's not really that spicy, but it's some of the silly things that the team does. Just to keep the seriousness away. Just be relaxed, especially when we're in game.
Yeah, and it is something that you guys might need to work on. You saw the match, right? You saw Hollywood. I think you did it twice. The team did it twice today. So
Yeah.
so you guys might need to scold them. It's like Come on, that is way too many ultimates. Like on the Genji and on Hollywood, and I think once on Gibraltar was it also? I was like,
I don't know. I don't know if it's my place. Maybe
no,
it's
it's
our
like it's
coaches.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have an opinion to go tell them off. Tell them stop
But
using ultimates.
I
Like
did tell them that, but they just laughed it out. So
yeah,
that's why.
I think they'll laugh it out too. But kudos and congratulations to Watch the Homies. I'm glad you guys are enjoying your time together. And I just want to ask, since you're more of the manager side, what's been your favorite part so far of the New Wave Invitationals?
Uh actually everything. I mean, just watching everyone grow. I mean, because from the beginning you'll see some teams struggling, and then you'll see them in the next match. They've improved so much. I mean, Overwatch has been like around for since 2016. Am I right? And it's
27,
still
2017, yeah, something like that. Something like that.
yeah. Well, it's still an improving game, and everyone I know everyone's great. I mean, you can learn a lot from everyone just by watching the New Wave Invitationals. So yeah,
Yeah,
just
I'm glad.
watching. Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are and enjoying your time here. And thank you to Nick Sor for this interview. Before you go, of course, you got the floor. Shout outs to anyone or everyone you want in the stream.
Ah, shout out to my beautiful team, uh, Ambi, Son, our coach, Cyber, Cyanide, our famous hashtag bench Cyanide, Gay Blue, Lone Mako, Freak, Cyan, and I have a friend who's watching. So Carl, hi.
And I love it. I love it, Nick Sor. Thank you for giving you
And
your
thank you guys
time.
for doing this.
Yeah,
Dax,
I
Billy,
again, it
Jen.
was like I was like, I didn't expect this to be this long already. Apparently, we're already like halfway to May. It's like we're still there. It's like okay, sure. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying, and I'm glad we are all here together in a little bit more league of our own. And congratulations to Watch the Homies. They are now at 5-1 on the standings. Yeah, thank you, Nick, sir.
Thank you, Dax. Thank you, everyone, for setting this up.
Yep. So thank you, Nixer, yet again, and we are gonna wrap things up so we can get into our second match, basically right away as soon as the graphics are set and ready to go, ladies and gents. So the plan right now, first things first, though, is to show you the standings, and well. For the time being, temporarily, our teams do keep their positions. Still need to compute it just a little bit, but from our initial estimates, it is still second place for Watch the Pomies because they are at 5-1 compared to the 5-0 of Wamanagi. In the meantime, Cakes did take a map away from Watch the Homie, so that does allow them to stay a little bit ahead of Uber server, but that question might be answered immediately after this next series. And looking at the maps yet again, Ilios, Hollywood, and Hanamura all taken by the Soap Squad of Watch the Homies. In the meantime, Watchpoint Gibraltar with a surprising victory by Team Cakes, very well executed. Really goes to show the practice making perfect. And honestly, Billy, before we head things over to our second match and bring Fascinate in for the co-cast instead, any thoughts, comments, or concerns you have for that match that was in question?
Which one again? Sorry.
The
Which...
match the match that you commentated on, just in general. Anything you can say about that?
Other than the unity of washed up homies with full committing ultimates.
The true unity right
The
there.
true unity right there.
It's
Like
a hive mind.
that Cakes may have more teamwork, I'd say, compared to washed up homies. But when it comes to unity, I think washed up homies has Cakes beat there. You know, when everyone has Q, unison press. Overkill is an understatement to them.
Overkill is the way to go. I think that's the right answer there, and that is absolutely ridiculous. But, amongst the memes that Mr. Billy was saying, there is truly that for Cakes they can really rely on their teamwork. On the other side, for Washed Up Homies, they are just really good. Not gonna lie, they're just really good, and they are finding
Individually,
ways.
they're all very good.
They're individually very good, and together they can be very good. All they have to do now is figure out what is the right way to fit up those pieces. They have the right pieces. It's like it's a complete jigsaw puzzle. You just have to figure out which one goes where. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And it was a good experiment right now, especially between Ambi and Lone. I'd love to see more of that tank line into the future there for the team of Washed Up Homies. But enough about that, ladies and gentlemen. We are going the long haul on this, and we still got another match to stay on. So thank you to Mr. Billy for co-casting this one. Our second match will be co-commentated by Mr. Fastnate instead, because we swapped the caster schedule, and we will be right back to set things up. This is the New Wave Invitationals. That was our first match for the night. Stay tuned for a second. This is going to be Uber server versus Meme Court. But again, final result there on that previous match is a 3-1 victory for Washed Up Homies. Stay tuned, stick around. This is your local league, the New Wave Invitationals.